Why, hello there. It is I, the Cheesy Cat, and we're here with Off the Hook to tell us there's a new update. We are here with a Splatoon 2 video. Just a little bit of brand new news here. Some patch notes. We're gonna go over a few things now. You've all probably heard about how the Tri-Slosher has been nerfed. And, I mean, there's all kinds of things going around about it, but of course, everyone knows that I work late night, so by the time I come home, everyone else is already got the new update or anything like that for a few hours. So, I'm just doing this video to show you guys a little, just my thoughts on it. So anyways, this is pre-patch, haven't updated yet. 62 damage. This is about the farthest it can go. Yep, there we go. There's that one pixel frame that for some reason counts as a hit, as you can see. So from this point, which is pretty much right at this line, oddly enough. So that's going to be our comparison when we go over the patch notes. And then I also want to take into account one more thing. The direct bomb being 60 damage, and the indirect bomb being 35, and then the lowest it can get is 25. So this is also going to come into play, because if you miss with the bomb, obviously things start to happen, make things different. So, that's basically the Tri-Slosher. I'm running very fast because I have a lot of run speed, but that's basically it. Oh, also this right here, this is a little bit of a comparison too. But the main point here is that with 62 damage, I can do this. Still kill people with 2 shots right from up here. Still does at least a reliable 50 damage. So from way up here. That's the main thing about sloshers. If you aim at opponents be at your level or higher, it does regular damage. And if you aim at opponents below you, it will do less damage. It's kind of like how fall off for sloshers work. But the crazy part about sloshers is that there's this pixel or damage that will still work even though your X on the screen is not there. That's how you know you're aimed at your enemy. But here, it still counts as a hit. So let's get right into a weird point that I'm going to show off. So from this notorious area that the Tri-Slosher can get this crazy possible two-shot kill, it's right about. Usually this works better when I'm not recording. There we go, 2-shot kill from right there. Not all that reliable, but pretty crazy. Here, 52 gal can't even reach. You just saw I killed someone with the Tri-Slosher, but the 52 gal can't even reach at all. Probably jumping, but look at how unreliable that is. Like 5 shots, not even 6 before you kill. So like I said, we're gonna move back to a weird domain in a second, but you'll see what I mean. Whoa, what is this? Whoa, we've got some changes here. Craziness. So anyways, no crazy, whatchamacallit. Like, look where my ink is falling compared to where everything else is. So there is that weird, whatchamacallit thing there. But here we're gonna look at something quite interesting. Now you probably already know where I'm going with this, but boom! 52 gal can hit just fine from where the same spot that the Tri-Slosher is shooting. Let me show you that again. Let me show you guys the same thing once again. Boom. Got this. I mean, from here it looks like the Tri-Slosher seems to have the same range. But in comparison to all the other weapons, in Splatoon 2, the Tri-Slosher actually has more range. If that doesn't prove anything to you, then I don't know what will. So anyways, let's go back to Splatoon 2. Very obviously, as you can see, the lines here seem to be comparable to Splatoon 1, but that is not the case. Relatively to all the weapons in Splatoon 1, the Tri-Slosher's range is technically buffed, even though it may seem to be that it is the same exact range, or so I guess you can say when it comes to these lines. But as you can see, we're going to fall back just a bit. Okay, that's a good point. The splatter shot can barely just reach, whereas the Tri-Slosher gets reliable kills. The Tri-Slosher was technically either, I mean, you can put it this way, it was buffed for Splatoon 2, or every other weapon was nerfed so much that the Tri-Slosher just became OP. That's just how we put it in my own perspective. So that's just a little demonstration for you guys. Now, in the same spot here, look at that. So the Tri-Slosher can kill you in 2 shots real quick. The roller can barely kill you in, well, it can kill you in 3 shots, but you have to do a jump shot, which hurts your mobility. Whereas this guy can just walk around and do that. Look at that. 2-shot kill. Whereas the roller, who can't even reach with, hold on, have to recharge my rink. Can't even reach, well, I guess you can, but that's a 4-shot kill right there. Oh, never mind, it's a 3-shot. So yeah, I guess. Hold on, let me see something. Yep, it's not too reliable. My burn speed is making me go crazy, jeez. But even then, still, just there's no reason that one weapon just outshines every roller except the dynamo and all these other weapons. Like, obviously the brush cannot even make it from here, so come on. To have to use a weapon that has more range, i.e. the Pro's Gal, Jet Squelcher, and longer range blasters, I guess H3 is pretty good too, and any of the snipers, that's just no. That's, if anyone tells me the Tri-Slosher isn't overpowered, they haven't looked into it at all. So that's just my opinion right there. So, I mean, those are all great reasons to show why the Tri-Slosher nerf is totally appropriate. So I'm going to update my game to show you the differences between old and new. So let's do a quick reset right here. Go right over to the Tri-Slosher. Show you the maximum range that this here Tri-Slosher can get a kill from. Okay, boom, right here, just before the line. Alright, we're back, we're yellow like cheese, and it's time to show you guys what has happened. Doesn't even reach. Huh, the ink does, but not the weapon. So let's see now where we will get that famous tiny difference kill. About right here is where it unreliably gets that weird pixelated one hit. Obviously if you jump it'll do it. Oh my gosh, you can't just flop around and slosh anymore. You actually have to aim and kill. Okay, well that doesn't seem to do. Okay, I don't know how I got 49, but okay, let's compare it to the 90 not the 96. That would obviously be easy to shoot at. Let's compare it to the 52 gal once again, not the unzap. Here we go. 52 gal. Boom! Now the 52 gal is back to its former days where it actually outranged the Tri-Slosher. And you told us that it wasn't OP, huh? You guys are funny. So anyways, that's one thing. The other part is that the Tri-Slosher is still a 2-shot kill, but now it only does 52 damage. Now obviously with a bomb, it would do the faster 2-shot kill, boom, if you get the direct, and then that would be quite the weird. Now what made this a very crazy 2-shot kill was that it did 97 damage if you hit and well, basically almost hit him, but missed just a little. 97 damage is very close to 100, and if you're standing in an opponent's ink for even a little bit, then it'll be an easy 2-shot kill. So that's the whole idea of why 52 damage is different, because 87 will take a lot less to kill. 87 will take a lot more damage to kill quickly. And the most important part is that this will no longer be a 2-shot kill. It will always be a 3-shot kill. You have more of a chance to run away from a Tri-Slosher who pops out of nowhere from up above to kill you. So let's take a look at these patch notes, of course. So the only weapon that was changed in the patch is the Tri-Slosher, which changed maximum damage to 52, of course, and decreased firing range by roughly 9%. So yeah, makes just about the right sense. I think this is a perfect patch, a perfect nerf for it, to bring it back to how it was supposed to be in Splatoon 1. I don't know how or why they decided that the Tri-Slosher needed to have more range than a lot of other weapons, but it was a bad decision in my opinion. Next up we have special weapons. Stingray. Firing the Stingray continuously for 1.5 seconds will cause shockwaves to appear around the ink blast, significantly increasing its damage radius. So the longer you shoot, i.e. 1.5 seconds, a shockwave will appear around it, kind of like a killer whale, and it will increase the radius that it can damage, which is a very good buff for this weapon. I was thinking of ways they could buff it, but they thought of it. They were perfect. And they extended firing duration by 0.5 seconds without special ability up, which is special power up. So you have an extra half a second to get that kill, which I feel like is just a perfect amount of time, because I feel like I was one shot away to killing someone, but it wouldn't. So Stingray, you see me get Stingray kills a lot if you watch my Twitch, and we're gonna get a lot more of those. So anyways, next up is Splashdown. Decrease the amount of time the player remains at the peak height of their jump by 10/60ths of a second, which is 10 frames, 5 frames if you're 30 FPS. That's basically just my YouTube video, so obviously that's gonna be a different. But yeah, 10 frames, that means they're gonna be faster splashdown. That's a buff indeed. Increase the peak height of the splashdown jump by roughly 31%. So the Tri-Slosher will no longer be able to just run up and kill you anymore. Yeah, that's Tri-Slosher nerf is gonna revolve around everything. But anyways, that means they jump even higher to splashdown, which is absolutely nuts. Another buff, increase the minimum damage from splashdown from 40 to 55, so a more reliable kill. Do not get near splashdown if you're weak enough to die. Decrease the points required to use splashdown special for certain weapons. So maybe not all weapons, but certain weapons that is per whiff require less points. So a huge buff to splashdown, even huger than the Stingray buff, in my opinion. Next up is Ink Storm, where we have the increased radius of 13%. Not that much, but it's going to be noticeable, I'll tell you that much. And decreased points as well for most main weapons. So see how it said Splashdown certain, but Ink Storm it says most. So yeah, there's going to be a difference in Ink Storm. I'm gonna love my E-liter now because I can use Inkstorm all the time. Next up is Baller. Made the Baller less likely to be knocked back when hit with enemy attacks, so it receives a knockback kind of buff, will be knocked around less. Increased durability of the Baller by 0.5 seconds when the gear ability, special ability up isn't being used. So basically the durability of the Baller has been increased even more, it looks like, according to this patch, because I believe they increased the durability of the Baller before, but I'm not sure, by 5.5 seconds. And it says durability. How do you increase durability in terms of time? Durability is not a measure. You don't measure durability in time unless the durability fades away, I guess. Maybe that's a duration buff, not a durability buff. Well, I don't know. Someone will test it out. Increased damage radius of explosion by roughly 17%, so almost 20%, which is not that crazy. In my opinion, the Baller's explosion radius was pretty small, so this definitely helps. And ink coverage by 7%. So yeah, that helps too. Increase minimum damage from explosion from 30 to 55. Okay, yeah, that's Baller's going to be more destructive. And increase power of explosion to knock back opponents. So it's going to be more knockback to other opponents who are getting hit by the Baller. So next up is Inkjet. Are we going to see a buff here like the previous three? No way. Increase the size of the hitbox of the player using the Inkjet, making them easier to shoot down. Well, all those shots that I've missed on Inkjets, they're gonna be all hits now. I don't know, it doesn't say a percentage, but if the hitbox is bigger, then we gotta watch out. Decreased damage radius of Inkjet shots hitting the ground by roughly 17%. So the damage radius is smaller and radius of ink coverage by roughly 20%, and even smaller ink radius. So you have to be a lot more accurate with the Inkjet now. Decreased damage dealt to players standing directly beneath the Inkjets by roughly 75%. That is huge. It must have been very powerful, but to be honest, I feel like one of my strategies for attacking Inkjets was to swim straight under them. And that would basically involve me swimming under the exhaust. So I think I'll be able to execute that strategy a lot better now. Because 75%, that must have meant that the exhaust killed very fast. That's insane. But yeah, huge nerf to the Inkjet. You will have to be a lot more accurate with your shots, and you can't just hover over people to kill them. Ink Armor is the last one. Shortened period of invulnerability after Ink Armor is destroyed by 8 frames. So they'll be less basically vulnerable for less of a time. So watch out, Ink Armor users. We're gonna kill you. Yet another nerf to the Tri-Slosher. Jeez. When hit with more than 100 points of damage at once while Ink Armor is active, any damage exceeding 100 points is dealt to the player and now knocks them back significantly. Whoa. That's crazy. So basically, if they were to die from an attack, or a shot, or whichever, bomb even, then the player gets the overage damage and knocks them back like, well, I mean, just imagine an E-liter shot shooting a bubble off the tower. That's basically what we're gonna see with Ink Armor now. A maximum amount of damage Ink Armor can absorb at once is 80 points. The maximum amount of damage they can take without dying is 80 points. So they'll take the 100-point damage and then get up to 80. You can't kill them with a 250 shot damage. That will destroy Ink Armor, yeah. Sub-weapons have changed as well. Sprinkler. Of the 3 levels of ink spray the Sprinkler gives off after placement, this is level 3, okay. So look at that. It goes even slower after a longer period of time. So anyways, let's see. So the first stage lasts about 5 seconds. And the second stage lasts about 15 seconds. And then I guess the final stage will be the stage it stays on forever. duration of medium level of ink spray was extended by 5. So it used to only be 10 seconds and then will drop to this level. So that's a decent buff. I think the second level lasting only 10 seconds would have been pretty bad, jeez. And then now the ink consumption is actually 70. So you have a decent amount of shots after throwing a sprinkler. 80 was quite a lot in my opinion, and a lot of sub-saver was needed to be used for it. Next up is point sensor, increased radius of effect by roughly 20%. So now point sensors are even bigger, and wow, I can tell right away that is huge. Much better in my opinion. Decreased delay until start of ink recovery by, oh my gosh, 15 frames. That is a quarter of a second. So I can shoot off sprinklers pretty quickly now. And it's, oh yeah, that is faster. Look at that. Decreased time until deployment after throwing out splash wall by 0.5 seconds. There's no way to make it run faster, but yeah, look at that. That is faster indeed. And then beacons are just decreased from 90 to 75, so you're not left with no ink after using a beacon. Now for anyone who wants to see their specials and what has changed for point specials, here's the list. I'll just go down and tell you what specials they are, because I mean it's going to be not plainly obvious just by looking at it. But anyways, so that is basically all of the weapon related. Thanks for nerfing the Slosher, the Tri-Slosher. It was indeed justified. And if you watched the first part of the video and still didn't think that the Tri-Slosher didn't need a nerf, then something is plainly wrong with you. But either way, this is the end of the video. Like it if you like it. Comment to tell me what you think about all of the stuffs that have been patched. And subscribe to catch more videos like this. Of course, this is the Cheesy Cat, and I'll see you in the next video.